We are live. Welcome to the ultimate SummerSlam quiz. That's right. I'm your host with the most. My name is Steve, and I'm going to be your quiz master today. And in the hot seat with me, he's a regular on this channel so often, you could say he's taking over. It's NXSteve in the house. How you doing, NXSteve?
Bricking it, mate. Absolutely bricking it. You're sitting here, you want to test me on my SummerSlam knowledge, and I'm like, I've done no revision. I'm probably going to suck completely at this, but otherwise looking forward to it.
Just what we wanted. That's exactly the kind of dedication we wanted going into this video, which is great to see. And I just say a big thank you as well to everyone that's tuning in live. Feel free to get involved as well throughout the video. We've got C Nation in the house here, so can't wait for the Q&A. Robbie as well involved. Also, Scott Retro Wrestling is here, and Eric Douglas in the house as well. Hope you're all keeping well. Feel free to get involved as well in the chat if you want to on this one. Also, there are 25 questions in total. NXT is going to have about 30 seconds each to answer each question. And of course, if you don't know, just give an answer. It can't hurt, whatever it's going to be. But yes, there are some nice ones. There are some not so nice ones involved in there as well. But NXT, without further ado, are you ready for your first question?
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. Go for it.
We're going to do it anyway. And we're going to start nicely. We're going to start very nicely for you. Question 1. In what year did WWE SummerSlam come to Wembley Stadium in London, England?
Would it be 1992, Steve?
It would indeed. So that's 1 point for NXT there on question 1.
Can I quit now?
Yeah. With a 100% score is NXT. We'll keep it nice and light for question 2 as well. What did Brock Lesnar use to lift the ring in his last man standing match versus Roman Reigns at WWE SummerSlam 2022?
Without being specific, I'm going to say a tractor.
It was a tractor indeed. That's right. 2 for 2 there for us there. Fantastic stuff to see indeed there. I told you, we're starting nicely. We're starting very, very nicely. Good to see the chat is getting involved.
I'm waiting for it.
The chat are very good as well there. So far, we've got some 100% from people coming in nice and early, which is good to see as well. Big shout out to Ed Fries in the house, also has joined us, along with Pierre, also in the house as well. Question 3. What year was the first WWE SummerSlam event?
Damn it. Let me think. I'm going to say 1985.
Okay, 1985. Well, I can tell you in the chat, a few people have got it correct. Unfortunately, you are wrong on this one, NXSteve. It is 1988 from Scott Retro Wrestling was the first one to get it in there for us. Pierre, Ed Fries, and Eric all getting in there as well. But yeah, very close indeed.
I knew it was like X amount of years after Mania, because obviously Mania was what, 40 this year. So I was like, is it 3 years? Is it something like that? It was just a complete wild guess. And normally everything is the year I was born. So that's why I went 85.
There you go. And that's the year I was born as well. We're young at heart. That's what we'll tell everybody anyway when they see this. But well, this actually should help you then with the next question. Because including this year, 2023, because this video will get very old very quickly otherwise, how many SummerSlam events have there been in total? And that includes this year's event. How many SummerSlam events will there have been?
So it should be 35 then, right?
Right now is 35, yes. But including 2023, it makes 36.
Oh, okay, 36. Okay, yeah, my bad. I got it wrong then. I'll take the loss on that one because my maths is stupid.
Well, I'll tell you, it's close enough anyway. Close enough on that one. You were off, yeah, literally, as Robbie says, off by 1 year there. But as this, if you go with right now, you would be correct. But as
right, yeah. But yes, you did say included, right. Gotcha.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're going to get a bit more interesting going forward from here. Question 5 for everybody. This one's going to really test a few people. How many years in a row was the Staples Center in Los Angeles the venue for WWE SummerSlam?
I'm going to say 6 years.
Wow, 6 years. That your final answer?
That is my final answer, Steve.
Well, I can tell you what. We've got 4 years from Robbie. We've got 3 years from West Coast Podcast in the house. Good to see you guys as well. 3 from Ed's. We've got 4 from C Nation and 5 from Scott Retro Wrestling. NXSteve, you were correct with 6. 6 years indeed. It started in 2009 and stopped in 2014. That was the last year, 2014, in the Staples Center.
Shit. Damn. I'm impressed. That was a wild guess. Like, whoo.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you like that one, you're going to like this one as well. How many years in a row was the Barclays Center in Brooklyn the venue for WWE SummerSlam?
I'm going to say 5.
5, okay. We'll see if any comments come flying in for this one. None at this particular moment, but 5 is the answer here. We have got now a few come flying in here. We've got 4 from C Nation, 4 from Robbie, 4 from Ed, 2 from West Coast Podcast, and 4 from Scott Retro Wrestling. It is indeed 4 years, the answer for you there. So it started in 2015 and 2018 was the last year. So far, 6 questions. You've got a 50% score rate. You've got 3 right so far, which I think is respectable so far. These are not the easiest questions in the world, but we're going to go and move on to question 7. What was the tagline for WWE SummerSlam 1998?
The brawl to end them all. Scooby.
I like that a lot there. Unfortunately, that is not the correct answer. And it will be our retro next week as well. But
take Undertaker, I presume. Something to do with that, but
I'll give a shout to Scott Retro Wrestling and West Coast Podcast, who both said Highway to Hell. That is the correct answer there for us there. And of course, C Nation says, sorry, C Nation, wasn't even alive. Well, some of them you will not be alive for as well when the rest of this quiz, but there will be some you will be alive for as well. So don't worry, there will be something to be better for you as well. But this one, C Nation, probably wasn't alive, but certainly one that you could perhaps answer. Who was the first ever King of the Ring winner to get a world title match at SummerSlam?
Oh my God.
I want to give you a clue, really.
No. It's because there was a point where, like, obviously people were winning King of the Ring and weren't getting nothing for it. I know it's not Austin, but I'm going to say Austin because I'm pretty sure it was the one before Austin.
It was not Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm looking in the chat right now. We've got Robbie says Booker T. We've got Ed Fries with Bret the Hitman Hart. We've got CNation Dog Brock Lesnar. And we've got Scott Retro Wrestling with Kurt Angle. The answer was indeed Owen Hart, who got the match at SummerSlam 1994 in the steel cage match.
Against Bret, yeah, obviously. I watched that with you, strangely enough. Oh, my God. What a divvy. They even talked about it. Well, that's just me being stupid for that one.
I thought that would be, as it was quite recent as well. But I tell you what, it wasn't the main event of that show, though. It wasn't the main event. Just to clarify, by the way, Bret Hart faced Jerry Lawler in 1993 when he was King of the Ring. So that's why he wasn't the answer for you there. And King Mabel, of course, 1995 did get the shot, the one before Steve Austin. So you were right about that there. But it wasn't the main event, though, Bret versus Owen in 1994. But what was the main event of SummerSlam 1994?
Oh, my God.
I think Ed Fries will get in the comments for sure.
Oh, my God. 94. I even looked at the pay-per-view as well and went, oh, yeah, it was funny that not being main event and end up leaving it to, like, I don't know. I'm going to go, because it's 94, I'm going to say Shawn Michaels against Diesel. I don't know.
I'm very sorry for you, but I will give a shout to Scott Retro Wrestling and Ed Fries and West Coast Podcast as well there, who all said Undertaker versus Undertaker. Undertaker versus Undertaker.
Do you know the best part is, if we sat there and watched it, and I looked at some of the promo bits and they talk about that, and I was, my brain just told you, I'm not good at this stuff, man. I can never remember dates. This is my problem. I can remember the stuff, but I can't remember dates. This is my biggest flaw.
It's always different as well when you're under the microscope. It's easy watching, but when you actually got to do it, it becomes a bit more difficult. But I feel horrible now because this one's going to be probably a stinger as well now. What was the first ever SummerSlam event?
88. I'm going to go Hogan versus Andre. I don't know. I ain't got a scoop, me.
You're halfway there. It was a tag team
Hogan,
match.
Isn't it?
It is Hogan with the Macho Man Randy Savage, the Mega Powers, against Andre the Giant and Ted DiBiase, which of course were the Mega Bucks, not to be confused with the Young Bucks, but the mega
I can't
bucks.
believe I got half the question right.
Can we give him half a point?
Maybe.
Comments, let me
I
know.
think half
Can we
a
give
point is deserved for that. I got half of the answer right.
I think we could look into it for sure there. This one is probably the worst question of the lot. What was the first ever match at WWE SummerSlam event? So in 1988, what was the first match on the card?
Oh, I'm gonna go Junkyard Dog against the Ultimate Warrior. I don't know. Just a random answer, man.
It's a random
Told you
one.
I've done no research for this.
I know.
I was expecting this to be one as well. I really was expecting this to be. What was the first ever match at SummerSlam? Literally, I could have Googled this.
I'm that predictable. Well, I'll tell you what, I've been told in the meantime while a few comments are coming in, Ed Fry says give him the half point. So I think we'll do that.
Kind.
We're going to give you the half point. So there, I think that's only fair at this moment. But yeah, C Nation says it's crazy as well that was tag team matches for the first main events of WrestleMania and SummerSlam. Very true. But answers to the question, one has come through from West Coast Podcast suggesting Ultimate Warrior versus Honky Tonk Man. And the other has suggested the Bulldogs versus the Fabulous Rougeaus. Scott Retro Wrestling does have it. It is the British Bulldogs versus the Fabulous Rougeaus, which was a 20-minute tag team match as well. For anyone that's keeping score, 20 minutes on
Shocking
the dot.
for 1988 to get a 20-minute tag team match. Jeez.
Absolutely. Well, question 12. Who ended the Honky Tonk Man's longest ever Intercontinental Championship reign in around 30 seconds at SummerSlam 1988? And we'll give you a clue on this one. He's one of your favorites.
And I was gonna say I don't need a clue. It's this guy right here, this one, right? The Ultimate Warrior.
It is indeed the Ultimate Warrior.
A returning Ultimate Warrior.
He is the one indeed there, and the comments went flying for that one as well there with the Ultimate Warrior there. Absolutely amazing stuff indeed from everyone. We'll take things a bit more modern with our next question. Who did Ronda Rousey defeat to win her first women's championship in WWE at SummerSlam 2018?
Let me think. I'm gonna say. I tell you what, you think stuff's really recent, and you're going to tell me the answer, and I'm going to be like, no way was this 5 years ago. It doesn't even feel like Ronda's been around for 5 years. At a push, I am going to say. I really want to say Liv Morgan, but I know it's going to be wrong. I'm going to say Carmella.
Unfortunately, the answer is Alexa Bliss. You are welcome to use the chat to your advantage, if you will, because on this one, everyone did get it right. C Nation, Scott Retro Wrestling, West Coast, Ed and Robbie all saying Alexa Bliss there. Not always are they unanimous, but on this one, they were. We'll see if they're unanimous on the next question, NXT, because like I say, you can use them to your advantage if you will. Which two WWE superstars have had the most SummerSlam appearances, which is 16 appearances in total each? So two
I'm
wrestlers
say
here.
John Cena for one, and I'm gonna say Edge.
Okay. Well, I can tell you John Cena's had 15 appearances at SummerSlam, so he just misses out. He just misses out.
He's always at SummerSlam.
He is.
Outrageous.
He is always. But I'll see what some of the people are saying here. And, well, one has got it correct here at the particular moment, and I will call that one up here. But thank you very much to give their ones in. Scott Retro Wrestling, Randy Orton, and The Undertaker there is the correct answer on that one there. But yeah, Randy Orton 16 appearances, Undertaker 16 as well.
It's taken them 9 years out. I really shouldn't have said Edge. I should have said anyone else apart from those two.
Thing is, though, those two, they have wrestled a lot of SummerSlams between them. But like I say, it's
Randy's got like the most WWE matches in history or something, man. It's like the guy's been around forever.
Absolutely, indeed, he has been around a very long time. Well, who's had the most SummerSlam main event matches?
John Cena. John Cena. Come on, dude.
It is Brock Lesnar with 9.
Oh, of course it is. Of course
9.
it is. Of course it's Brock Lesnar. How many appearances has he had at SummerSlam? Because I bet it's only 9 as well.
I think there's only two he's not main evented, which was 2003 and I believe 2013. The match against Punk was not a main event, although it was seen as the double main event, even though it wasn't going on last. Every other match up until probably this year included, or this year will be one of those that he's not actually the end of the card, but every other match has been main event of the show. Obviously, Roman Reigns has been there a couple of times. Seth Rollins, we've seen Randy Orton, The Undertaker, John Cena. We've even seen the likes of The Rock, of course, back in 2002. Also, just going quickly into the chat, and a lot of people were saying Brock Lesnar, claiming him to be the king of SummerSlam. Speaking of Brock Lesnar, this is going to be an interesting one, and people don't Google this one because just don't Google it. You're cheating yourselves if you do. How many German suplexes did Brock Lesnar give to John Cena in a 2014 main event?
12.
Very close.
Astronomically large number. Oh, gun. I know it was something stupid. Something absolutely stupid.
It was 16. The same answer as the question number is 16.
Even more ridiculous. 16 German suplexes.
It was 16. I love Robbie's come up with 24. It felt like 24, Robbie. I'm not going to lie to you, but yeah, literally had to watch that match to count them, just to be sure. 16 was
That's
Google was correct.
Man. I'm surprised John wasn't fluent in German after all of that. Do you know what I mean?
Felt like it, to be fair. Absolutely felt like it.
Every time he does one, 9.
Question 17. What year did Lex Luger with his Lex Express versus Yokozuna main event SummerSlam?
No, I'm getting it mixed up. I'm thinking of something else there. I'm going to say 19. 19. 19. And I'm going to say 90. 96. No. 95. 95.
I can tell you the answer is 1993.
Oh, God, for fuck's sake. Excuse my friend.
And I got to say, the chat was very varied on this one. The chat was all over the place. No one was consistent on that answer for that time.
I know, because I was like, it's not Attitude Era, which is kind of, for me, 96 onwards. So I'm like, it's got to be fairly late on. And then I'm sitting there trying to think, like, when was Yoko around? Because he wasn't around for long. Just too late, unfortunately, for me.
Absolutely. And as there's no question on this, I can confirm, yes, Ed Fries is correct. 95 is Diesel versus Mabel.
Because he won King of the Ring, obviously, yeah.
He did, yes. And
yeah,
that also,
see?
sadly,
you're giving away clues here from previous questions. I should really know this.
Well, this one's going to be a difficult one. Actually, I will claim this is probably the hardest one on the whole stream here. What is the shortest match in SummerSlam history?
Oh my God. Is it within the last 10 years?
No.
Didn't think it was. Screw you, Steve. I've not got a absolute Scooby-Doo. I'm gonna say Warrior versus Honky Tonk Man. Just because it's the only other thing.
It came in. And that was 30 seconds, that match. And it was not the correct answer. Remember a match with Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch that lasted 26 seconds back in 2021? That is the second shortest match in SummerSlam history.
I was going to say, it's not within the last 10 seconds, 10 years, yeah.
The shortest is in 2009, Christian versus William Regal for the ECW Championship, which lasted 25 seconds. Imagine an ECW roster with Christian Cage and William Regal. It doesn't make any sense at all there.
Outrageous that it lasted that long. Like, that's William Regal and Christian. I take it Christian retained.
He did, yes. That was his year of dominance as the ECW champion. And watch along suggestion. Chat, let us know. But
you should have asked me. I would have known the answer to it because I know Regal was never ECW champion. But God,
absolutely, Absolutely. I've got yeah, a bit of a surprise there from the chat on that one there. Well, we'll answer the reverse question. What is the longest match in WWE SummerSlam history?
Oh, I'm gonna say Brett versus Austin Iron Man match.
It is. Let's see if the chat actually has it first before we go there. No. No, none have come in, so I will answer it for you, everyone. It is Team Nexus versus Team Cena or Team WWE from 2010. The match lasted 35 minutes and 15 seconds. It's the longest in SummerSlam history.
Really?
Yeah.
Team Nexus versus Team Cena. Oh my god.
That is the one. That is the longest. But
SummerSlam is not my favorite pay-per-view of the year. You know that, right? This is honestly, this is Survivor Series can get in the bin. No, Survivor Series is actually okay. SummerSlam can get in the bin for me. God, I suck. This has been about Rumbles or something. I probably would have done a lot better. Now I'm just being a complete dunce.
There is still time to turn it around. We have quite a few questions to go. And
3.5 points. There's no way I'm going to turn it around.
I love, by the way, the question: the Bulldogs versus the Rougeos, a suggestion from West Coast. I absolutely love that. Absolutely superb there. We did get Team Cena versus Team Nexus, and Robbie here saying that I knew that as well. Should have gone with my gut there. And HBK versus Triple H is a suggested one as well, which is a long match in SummerSlam history, but not quite taking the top spots. But we mentioned Team Cena or Team WWE versus the Nexus. So 7 superstars. Who was on Team WWE in that match?
John Cena, Daniel Bryan, Bret Hart, Edge. I want to say Chris Jericho, Dolph Ziggler. Who was the 7th? Kofi Kingston.
Well, I tell you, we got the first 5 right. Got the first 5 right.
That's not bad. That's not bad. 5 out of 7. I'll take that.
Absolutely. In fact, I'm going to give you half a point as well because you had half a point before. I mean, you got most of them right there. Let's see if the chat has got the other 2. I love the great Carly. Was a suggestion.
The ones
there.
I got right was Cena. Was Cena?
It was Cena, Daniel Bryan,
Brett,
Chris Jericho, Bret Hart, Edge, and there was 2 other ones in there as well. Ed Fry suggesting maybe John Morrison. John Morrison was one of them, and R-Truth was the other one. R-Truth was the other one.
Do you know what? I was sitting there. That's why I went Shelton Benjamin. Like, I don't mean to sound like it, but I was like, I know there was a black wrestler on their team, but for the life of me, could not think who it was. Yes, it was. It was R-Truth.
Oh. Yes, there we go. And Robbie asking the question, was it Ziggler not on the team, or am I thinking Cena versus the Authority? Well, I'm thinking Cena versus the Authority.
That's what I was thinking
one of the more favorable pay-per-views for NXSteve, the Survivor Series back in 2014 was the time on that occasion there. We've got 5 questions to go, and we've still got some hung dingers in here for us as well. Going to go back to 1991 now. What stipulation did the Big Boss Man versus the Mountie match have?
Wasn't it a nightstick on a pole or something stupid like that? I can't believe this. I thought the answer was going to be Big Boss Man when we joked about it before. Man, this is outrageous. No, I'm going to say it's like, I don't know. I want to say like a nightstick on a pole match or a handcuff match or something. Because they're both close. Law enforcements.
They're
both law enforcement, which was the thing. And it was like one of them gets... I can't... I'm going to say loser leaves town match.
Unfortunately, I can't give it to you, but it's very close. Okay, I'll give Mike there's quite a few in the comments that have got it right there. Ed Fry, Scott Retro Wrestling in there as well, and Pierre also, and Mike, Italian Mike in the house as well, saying the Jailhouse match. Of course, the Mountie lost that match and spent the night in the Slammer, where WWE did many skits of the Mountie being in prison.
Yes, I remember it. Comedy. I remember it. Yeah.
Yes, I think some choose to try and forget it, but yes. What year was? That was a good song back in the day. What year was the first ever Boiler Room Brawl match between The Undertaker and Mankind at SummerSlam?
I'm going to go 1997.
1 year out, unfortunately. The chat is all over the place on this one. It is 1996. Scott Retro Wrestling does take it on this one. Very close indeed there. Very close there. Great to see all the interaction on the chat. I do like everyone getting involved on this. It's great to see as we go to question 23. What year was the first ever Money in the Bank cash-in at SummerSlam? A bit more recent.
Oh, my God.
Depends what you class as recent, I guess.
The first ever Money in the Bank. It was a men's one.
It was
because all the women did it on this. Because all the women did it on the same night, apart from Carmella.
It's varied with the chat. They're not all there, but you can use them for reference if you want to.
Randy Orton.
Well,
what year it was? Sorry, I would say
year?
2018.
It is unfortunately 2011. C Nation there, Scott Retro Wrestling there, given the early shots, West Coast podcast there as well. Pierre also, and actually saying Alberto Del Rio, which was the guy on CM Punk, was the one there. And as C Nation clarified,
whoa! Hang on a minute.
Go for it.
Del Rio never actually officially cashed in on Punk at SummerSlam. Is that the one? Are we talking the right year here? The one where he skedaddles off with the title over the barricade?
That's I want to say that's Punk goes over the barricade, doesn't he? I haven't seen the match very recently.
Isn't that
but,
the one where Punk's contract runs out and he does it, and then Vince calls out Del Rio to cash in, but he never actually cashes in the contract? Because I'm pretty sure Del Rio don't cash that in.
That's Money, as C Nation clarifies, that is actually at the Money in the Bank show in 2011.
Gotcha.
I did remember the segment, and I started to panic for a minute because I've seen the stuff written down today as well. So I was like, I know I'm right with this. I've double checked everything, but
it's that year, obviously. Yeah, that's why I was getting confused, because I was like, hang on a minute, that's what I was getting confused with. It was the CM Punk thing,
and there was an attack on CM Punk via Kevin Nash as well. We go. So C Nation.
Oh, that's when Punk was doing all that twaddle with Kevin Nash, and Kevin Nash was like trying to be his best friend or something. Oh yeah, I don't remember that now.
Was the days, yes. Well, we mentioned on our watch along how we love the blue steel cage NXT, so I had to throw this one in there.
What was how
many blue steel cage matches have there been in SummerSlam history? You know how many cage matches? How many times have we seen the beautiful blue steel cage?
3. Can't imagine it's a lot.
That is correct. There have been 3.
Oh, so there's been loads of cage matches, but like if you're thinking blue cage, not that many. You're talking like up to like I don't know, early 2000s. It's got to be little less than 3.
Absolutely. Well, we have watched Brett versus Owen in '94. We had Mankind versus Triple H or Hunter Hearst Helmsley in 1997. And with the Ultimate Warrior versus Ravishing Rick Rude in 1990. Those were the 3 blue steel cage matches there for us then. We did get a couple of people getting it right. Robbie saying, he said, what a guess. Robbie, you knew it deep down. Don't lie to us. You knew the answer. Scott Retro Wrestling there also coming in there with it also. And Scott obviously saying so as well, the 3 matches there. So if you missed me, say it. There it is in front of you.
The clues in the name with Scott Retro. Yeah, well, apparently knows all this stuff.
We might give him a modern quiz and see how he gets on. I think that could be the way we could go for it. But we have one question. I know he'd be still good at it, though. That's the thing. I've got one question there for us then to wrap things up then. For which championship did The Rock and Booker T compete for in the main event of SummerSlam 2001?
Right. 2001 is Invasion, yeah.
It is.
I'm going to say the WCW World Heavyweight Championship.
I can tell you that a few people have said WCW Championship here, and I can confirm you are correct.
Oh, yes! Because he took it off Booker, and if I remember correctly, the match doesn't finish clean, I don't think. Because I think there's a load of... well, like I said, it's Invasion era time, so I was kind of like, yeah, I remember Rock winning the WCW World Heavyweight Championship.
Absolutely there. Well, I'll tell you what, there, it's good to see all the... Absolutely. Well, just going through the final tally of the scores there, but getting the last two
6.
correct there as well. Got 6, but a couple of half points as well there. So yeah, I think not bad going. It's a very, I think it's quite a hard quiz.
Like
I
I
don't
said,
think it's an easy quiz.
with no revision. I think if I'd have studied for that, I probably would have got maybe 4 or 5 more. Like, don't get me wrong, the blue steel cage one, I would never have thought was a question. The first ever match I would have thought would have been one. But like some of them were really good. Like I said, the king, who was the first ever king of ring, and all that stuff. They're little things you wouldn't think about when it comes to these kind of quizzes. But I'm pretty sure I would have got maybe 3 or 4 more. But I'm content with my 6. I will take it.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to say you've very good sport for getting involved in this as well. This is something very new for the channel as well. I want to say a big thank you to the chat as well that have been sort of getting involved as well, answering every question. Many getting quite a lot right as well.
This is because I stitched you up in it with that quiz last time. When we did a quiz and I was the host. This is what it is. This is your revenge, isn't it? I just thought of that. I was like, he's done me up here. He's done me up the kipper.
I'm probably going to actually attach that at the end of this video. So if anyone wants to go and watch me in misery for 10 or 11 minutes trying to guess every competitor in the greatest Royal Rumble match, then I will tag that on there. But what I will say to everybody is a big thank you to getting involved and watching this. If you're watching this on delay as well, and when the video is finished as well, let me know what score did you get in the comments below. I'd be interested to know what score you got out of 25. And also, if you want to see more of this is trying something a bit different on the channel, something we like to think is a bit creative. So let us know, is this something you want to see more of? And of course, yes, this was the ultimate SummerSlam quiz. So this was varying from 1988 all the way to the present day. Who knows, there might be a round 2 of this at some stage. And great to see Robbie Collins here saying that this was a lot of fun. And Ed wants to see more quizzes. NXSteve, do you want to see more quizzes after this?
Yeah, if you give me more time to revise, yeah, I'd love to.
We'll give more notice in future.
I need to stitch you up next time now. I need to do one like name every single WWE champion in history or something like that.
How long will I have?
I think it's about 10 minutes, that quiz.
Look forward to it. I look forward to that. So Nation, I was going to do one a bit more up to date. Of course we can. We can vary the quizzes up. This is a first time thing, just experimenting today. Scott Retro Wrestling, fantastic score, 21 there out of 25 there. So good on you, Scott, there.
I expected him to score that much.
Absolutely amazing stuff indeed there. But if you've all enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button as well. It helps with the algorithms, all the boring stuff on YouTube. And well, NXSteve and I are not finished today. We're going to go for a live Q&A now. So go back onto the channel and get watching as we go live for a Q&A, a 60-minute Q&A, SummerSlam special, but also we'll probably touch on things NXT, AEW, and Impact as well if your questions are there. But thank you all for watching. Look after yourselves and each other. And yes, you have been watching the greatest or the ultimate WWE SummerSlam quiz ever. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in a couple of moments. If you stay linked with this chat, I will drop a link here as well, also to where you can go and follow us next.